going to prove two identities that are similar to each other. And when you're proving identities, you want the left side of the equation to look like the right side. And basically, you want to manipulate one side, and you want to manipulate the more complicated side. Since in this case, our simple side is this right side here, we're going to manipulate the left side. And since our right side is just cosine, I'm going to write everything here in terms of sine and cosine and see what happens. So secant we know is 1 over cosine. Then we have minus sine theta, and tangent, put that over 1. Tangent is sine over cosine. Therefore, 1 times cosine is just cosine, so our common denominator is cosine. And sine times sine is sine squared, so we have 1 minus sine squared. From our Pythagorean identities, we know that 1 minus sine squared is cosine squared. And write that over cosine, and that's going to equal cosine, because cosine goes into cosine squared once. Okay? So the right side looks like the left side. And we proved it. And we're going to do the same thing with this side. We're going to go ahead and work on the right side because our left side here is in the simplest form. And since it's sine, I'm going to go ahead and write the right side in terms of sine and cosine. So this cosine times cosine over sine minus 1 over sine. And if you multiply here, this is going to be cosine squared. This just equals sine, 1 times sine, for the times. So it's going to be cosine squared minus 1 over sine. This sine. All right. Now, cosine squared minus 1 is not sine squared. What I can do is I can multiply my numerator and my denominator by negative 1. So, in this case, I would have negative cosine squared plus 1 when you distribute over negative sine. I'm going to rearrange my numerator to 1 minus cosine squared over negative sine. Now, 1 minus cosine squared is sine squared, so we get sine squared over negative sine. Sine goes into sine squared once, so that's going to be just sine. And therefore, we have sine of theta over divided by negative 1, which is just negative sine of theta. Okay? That's all. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.